Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to AvidMax Tying Tuesdays. My name is Brady, and today we're going to show you how to tie the Autumn Splendor. So this is a great pattern. It's kind of a variation of the woolly bugger, and it's got just some different materials and some different aspects to it. We're going to use, for this pattern, we're going to start off with the TMCO TMC 5263 hook. We're going to have a brass cone head on that, a copper brass cone head. And then for our tail, we're going to use some woolly bugger Marabou. From there, we'll rib our body with some brassy size copper wire, along with the, we're going to do a flashy version. This is the Cactus Chenille medium size in the root beer color. We'll add some legs to this fly as well. It's going to be the Grizzly Barred medium yellow legs. And then we'll finish it off with a nice Keo. This is the Grizzly Ginger Hackle. All right, so I've already got my brass cone head on there. This is the medium-sized copper cone head. And then I have some 020 wire wrapped. I did about 15 wraps of the 020 wire and pushed it up against that cone head. From there, I'm gonna start my thread. This is the Uni Camel 6/0. And we're just gonna start it right behind the wire, as we typically do when we have a wired bodied fly. And we'll make a little thread ramp here to secure all that down. This is a great fly in the fall. That's the name Autumn Splendor. That's kind of a variation of the Autumn Splendor. But it's a great streamer pattern when you got big rainbows and big brown trout that are a little more aggressive and ready to feed on bait fish and other large aquatic life. So once we get a nice taper up to the lead there, everything locked down, we'll work our way back a little bit. Prepared to wrap in our Marabou tail. So I've prepped up my Marabou. I have a total of 3 strands here, and I've laid them on top of each other. So I'm doing, this is the woolly bugger Marabou. I'm doing brown and yellow, and we just stripped off the stems, kind of to clean it up a little bit. I'm using just the tips here. As you can see, these are just long enough for the body that I have. If you're gonna do a larger version of this fly, you may wanna do the blood quill Marabou, just because you're gonna get some longer fibers there. But this is just long enough for the size that I'm tying. And I just stacked them on top of each other, so I'm gonna measure that out, transfer that measurement back, and come in and tie it all down. So we'll do a couple wraps and lock it in here. And then we can trip off our excess. The next material I'm going to add is that ribbing. So this is the brassy size copper wire. We'll throw that in there. You can add a little crystal flash as well, sticking off of the back of this fly. I'm going to do a crystal body, so it'll be flashy as it is. But if you're doing a little flash just on either side there, with the tail maybe a little bit longer than the tail. Okay, so then we'll come back and we'll add our chenille. So as I mentioned, this is the crystal chenille, the cactus chenille rather. And this is the root beer color. It's a great color for this pattern, blends really nicely. But I trimmed off just a little bit of the fiber so that I have a nice clean section to tie in. And once we lock that down, we can trim off the excess. And move into adding our legs. This is probably one of the more difficult parts of the fly, especially once you go to wrap your body and everything. They just tend to get in the way and make things a little more cumbersome. I got that all evened out, so I'm going to go just ahead of that hook point there to where I'm going to tie in my first set of legs. I'm using the barred round rubber legs. These are the yellow. And what I've done is I take a full strand and I cut it into quarters to get a length like that, and that seems to be just about right for this fly. So I'm gonna lay them on top, and we'll do just some quick X wraps on them to lock them in, and then when we wrap our chenille and our wire and everything, we can get them to be positioned exactly how we want them. But basically want them just sticking out right off the side of the hook there. So we'll repeat this a couple times, wrap in a total of 3 of these. Gives you 6 legs on either side when you're done. Work our way up to the front. It's all going outward as best as we can, and then we'll half hitch and start to bring our chenille up here. So the chenille, I'm going to wrap it standard line, clockwise here, just around close palmers, all the way forward. See, the legs always want to come along, so just as you wrap, keep moving them out of the way and positioning them the way that you want them to be here. This root beer is one of my favorite cactus chenille colors. I just think it's got a great mix of natural browns, and then along with the flashy greens that are in there, it's a very effective color. And we'll clip out the excess, and then we'll bring our ribbing up while locking down wraps there. Bring that copper wire that we tied in. Actually, sorry, I lied to you. We're going to wait and do that after we do the hackle here. So this is that ginger hackle from Keo. It's just a dyed ginger. It's a nice match for this fly. And that gets tied in right at the front here. Lock that down and then clip out our butts. Palmer it backwards. So do a couple wraps on the front, and then we'll work our way back slowly here with open palmer wraps. And this is what we're going to use our wire for now to capture this hackle. Right at the back. Make sure we lock it in there. Now we'll work that forward, and as we're going forward, avoid the hook point. Also avoid some of these hackle barbels. And you work your way kind of back and forth as you go up. You can avoid trapping the majority of them. You're going to get some, but try and leave them all flaring out there. Just like so. And then we're going to capture that off at the front. And we can spin off the extra wire we have. That all down, we can do our whip finish here. So we'll do a couple here. Get everything seated where you want it. a little head cement if you need it. Come back, we'll trim out that excess hackle that we have. And then we can clip our legs down to length. So I like to hold them up, just like so. And just make sure they're all even. With us measuring to that quarter length, they're pretty close to where I want them. Just gonna trim them down just a little bit here. Nice and even, just like so. There's a nice variation of the Autumn Splendor. It's a very buggy fly, a lot of movement in the water, and tends to be very effective in the fall. Be sure to check out AvidMax.com for all the tools and materials that we use to tie this fly. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, and share. For more fly fishing and outdoor related videos, subscribe to our AvidMax YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out there.